Hey guys, so this is the Samsung Galaxy S2 versus the Galaxy Nexus versus the Galaxy S3. So yeah, now obviously the S3 is much superior than all the phones, and so that's obviously pretty obvious. But I'm just gonna go through this anyways, right? So the OS, I mean, the S2 has Android 2.3.4, now 4.0. So base version, I guess. The Galaxy Nexus came with 4.0, and then so is the Galaxy S3. So yeah, you got your skin. You got for your S2, you got your TouchWiz 4.0. For the Nexus, you got your stock, so flat out just Android. Then for your S3, you got your TouchWiz. Display, the S2 is 4.3 to 4.5 inches. I'm not really sure why they said to 4.5. I mean, like, how do you extend the screen, right? That's kind of weird. The Nexus is 4.65 inches, kind of precise, okay? And the Galaxy S3 is 4.8 inches. Resolution, yeah, it's kind of weird though. I mean, resolution. The S2 has 800 by 480, so okay, 480p, pretty bad, but okay. The Nexus is 1280 by 720. Keep this in mind. Well, the S3 is 720 by 1280, so you can notice the reverse. And the way people measure screens is by this way, that way. So saying you had like 16 by 9, this would be 16, that would be 9, okay? So yeah, I'm not really sure how why they're measuring in such a weird way. Someone here is measuring in a weird way. 1280 by 720 and then 720 by 1280. Yeah, I mean, you guys have to use a standard, right? But anyways, the glass, the S2 has Gorilla Glass, which is amazing. Then the Nexus has Fortified Glass, which is Fortified Glass is very strong. Okay, it's pretty strong. Okay, the S3 has Gorilla Glass 2, so it's even stronger. The CPU, the S2 has 1.2, which I guess could be upgraded to 1.5 gigahertz dual core. The Nexus has 1.2 gigahertz dual core, and then the S3 has 1.4 gigahertz quad core. The graphics, the S3 wins by, well, I guess it's pretty much comparable, right? I mean, all of them have AMOLED. All of them have Super AMOLED, while the and then the Nexus and the S2 have HD on top of that, right? While the S2 has a plus. I would assume all of these mean the same thing, right? Memory, yeah, it's all the same. Storage, pretty much all the same, except the S3 gets 64 gigabytes more. And the Nexus doesn't have a micro SD card slot. Front camera, yeah, okay, the S2 wins by 2 megapixels. Then the S3 has 1.9 megapixels, and then the Nexus has 1.3 megapixels. The rear camera, or the main camera, the S2 is 8 megapixels, the Nexus is 5 megapixels autofocus, and the S3 has an 8 megapixel autofocus camera with HDR, which stands for high dynamic range, which allows you to take more in-depth pictures, I guess. One could say, I mean, allows for more vibrant colors, so the lower tones in the picture would stand out more, and the higher tones would stand out more. Pretty much everything stands out more. So yeah, the S3 for the cellular data, I guess wins this. I mean, it has HSPA plus 21 with LTE in certain regions, I guess. The Nexus has LTE or HSPA plus. And then the S2 just pretty much has everything else that sucks. Wi-Fi, yeah, I guess standard, while the S3 has channel bonding, Wi-Fi HT40, whatever HT40 means, and I'm not really sure what the HT40 is. Bluetooth, they all have 3.0, while the S3 has 4.0, low energy, whatever that means, low energy. Who cares if it uses low energy? Yeah, orientation on the S3 pretty much has all the good ones. Dimensions, again, weight. The S2 wins this by 116 grams, while the S3 comes in second with 133 grams. NFC, so the Nexus and the S3 have NFC, so that's awesome, while the S2 has an optional NFC thing, so awesome. Multimedia, for all of them you got MHL and for the S3 you got your, on top of the MHL you got your DLNA, and then the battery, the S3 pretty much doubles the S2's battery and then is above the Nexus battery by, I guess, a fair chunk. So yeah, anyways, this is the comparison versus the Samsung S3 versus the Galaxy Nexus versus the Galaxy S2. So anyways, comment, rate, and subscribe.